Well, living in paradise, it comes at a price. This week, San Diego County set a record for its highest gas price in history.
In history.
Not just this year, in history. Good evening. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Steve Price.
Yeah, I'm feeling the pain at the pump myself. I'm Kirsten Holmes. Drivers are frustrated, and those who have no other choice but to drive to work are looking for ways to save money at the pump.
CBS 8's Regina Ureta has reaction from drivers, and she explains why prices are expected to go even higher.
Residents in San Diego and all across the country are dealing with some of the highest inflation in decades, and gas prices are up nationwide.
San Diego has hit records for the county's highest gas price in history.
Gas is really expensive. I think we're being gouged.
Just today, gasoline in San Diego County hit a record high of $4.74. The average price has increased 18 times in the last 20 days, but in the last year, it increased by $1.21. Locals can't seem to keep up with the prices. With costly rent pay and expensive gas, many say that's almost their entire paycheck gone in seconds.
$60, $70. And I ride a motorcycle, so I can save gas. So this is for driving my wife around, so we don't use as much, but still very expensive.
While the Golden State has always been hit hard with gas prices, even when it rises nationwide, according to AAA, in the most recent months, it's gotten even worse because of several reasons. The country is dealing with inflation stemming from the economic recovery of the pandemic. There is also the geopolitical tension between Russia and Ukraine. And with the supply being disrupted, it is putting upward pressure on the crude oil price.
We're seeing an increase in demand for fuel as many parts of the country start to warm up. People need gasoline to take those road trips to outdoor destinations.
AAA's Doug Shoup also says it's the switchover of the summer blend that has also contributed to seeing those alarming numbers at gas stations.
So we are typically in the top 5 for highest prices. Right now, California sits at the #1 state in the nation with the highest gas prices. We know this can be so frustrating.
And with Senate Bill 1 bringing an automatic gas tax hike every summer, many are hoping Governor Newsom can delay it.
Or go electric.
But for those who don't drive electric, AAA has these tips to help save gas.
The best way to do that is make sure your vehicle is well maintained, lighten the load of your vehicle, and finally, shop around for the cheapest gas prices.
For CBS 8, I'm Regina Ureta.
And we've seen gas spikes like this before, but it seems like right now it's hitting us even harder because everything else is so expensive right now. You go to the grocery store, it's more expensive. You buy clothes for the kids, it's more expensive. And now the gas is more expensive. And our raises are not going up as much as the cost of inflation right now.
We did the story. If you didn't get a 6% increase, you took a pay cut.
You took a loss.
We all took a pay cut together.
This is a tough time. And unfortunately, with what's going on in Ukraine, it seems like it's going to get worse. Keeping our fingers crossed.
Oh, we need
All right, let's change the subject.
Want to talk about the weather, Steve? Let's talk about the weather. All right, it was a gorgeous day for a Sunday drive up to the mountains if you were so lucky and could afford the gas. But we're told big changes are coming our way.
Yeah, we need to take a bicycle up to the mountains or something.
Yeah.
Let's check in with meteorologist Sean Stiles.
You're not going to want to do that either because we got ourselves a pretty potent storm heading our way. Now today, you mentioned it was pretty nice out there. Temperature slightly below average at 63, 66, the 30-year average. One thing that's really going to change over the next 24 hours is we're going to start to see some very windy conditions. We're going to see very cold conditions, a chance of snow in our mountains, a winter storm watch for the mountains. We've got a high wind watch for the deserts. And then as we head a little bit east into the Imperial County, a wind advisory for them. This is a very, very potent storm that's going to bring snow levels down to 2,500 feet. So that means places like Alpine could get snow out of this. Looking at the forecast for tomorrow, the rain starts later in the day. We could see a scattered sprinkle here or there, and then into Tuesday, lasting into Wednesday. And notice those overnight lows. Look at the inland microclimates, 36, 38, and then 30. That's a 30 for our inland microclimates. So places like Valley Center, Poway, Escondido, El Cajon, Santee, it's going to be chilly. I'll explain to you how this is happening coming up in just a bit.
The threat of war in Ukraine, it's escalating. Local Ukrainians doing what they can now to bring awareness to the situation out there.
Yeah, they gathered in Balboa Park as Ukraine reports a spike in violence. Ukraine's military says attacks by Russian-backed rebels have increased tenfold in just the past 3 days. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky is calling on allies to take stronger action against Russia to support his country. President Zelensky is also requesting a meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
Meantime, according to new U.S. intelligence, Russian troops have received orders to proceed with an invasion of Ukraine. Publicly, Russia announced its military drills near Ukraine's northern border, slated to end today, will continue. Tom Hansen has the very latest.
In eastern Ukraine, soldiers are ready and waiting for an attack from Russia. This soldier explains he's been ordered to not return fire, just as he hears incoming fire. International monitors say shelling is intensifying, with nearly 1,500 explosions in 24 hours. This Ukrainian soldier was injured, and Ukraine's military says 2 have died. The area is controlled by pro-Russian rebels, and they continue to urge residents to move to safety in Russia. Thousands have. But in Kyiv, the capital city of nearly 3 million people, there's relative calm. President Biden said Friday this is where Russia intends to strike within days, with some 190,000 troops surrounding the country. Secretary of State Antony Blinken.
Everything we're seeing tells us that the decision we believe President Putin has made to invade is moving forward.
Sunday, the president held an emergency meeting with his national security team and later consulted with French President Emmanuel Macron. Vice President Kamala Harris issued this warning.
We are talking about the real possibility of war in Europe.
Ukraine's President Volodymyr Zelensky requested a meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin. He hasn't responded, and Sunday blamed Ukraine for escalating tensions and NATO for providing Ukraine with modern weapons and ammunition. Tom Hansen, CBS News, New York.
You know, hundreds of Afghan refugee families are still displaced since the fall of Kabul.
A lot of them are still staying in temporary housing in San Diego and need assistance to adjust to their new life here. Local organizations say over the past 4 months, they have donated items to about 1,200 families.
CBS 8's Ariana Cohen has the latest from an event in La Jolla where volunteers are doing what they can to help.
Many organizations here are helping hundreds of refugees. Something as simple as shampoo can make their day. This father of 5 fled here from Afghanistan. Ever since the fall of Kabul last August, he has been staying with his parents and children at this hotel temporarily for the past 2 months.
Yes, we are very happy because you are helping to us. We need the things. Yes, that's very, very good for my family.
He, along with 150 other displaced refugee families, are collecting items like clothing, shoes, and toys donated by volunteers from Helping El Cajon Refugees and other organizations.
First of all, since they come to this country with almost nothing, with like a backpack, so they're going to need everything to settle in. And they're not here temporarily, they're supposed to resettle here. So they're going to need a lot of help.
The smiles on their faces is so amazing. It's especially for the kids, you know, you give them toys and brand new toys and clothes, get them ready for school. And so it's nice to put a smile on their face.
Organizers say this is a small step towards helping these families become adjusted to life in America.
The challenges is going to continue. These families are still new. We need more support, more attention. We need more people to come in and sponsor this family, show them how the American life is, teach them how to, for example, do grocery shopping. Like the smallest little thing, they need help. And we need people to come and support us and help us.
This Afghan father hopes he can continue to support his family.
We are really happy. Just we want to rent house because this is for my family, for my children, for everyone is the hard one to find a house.
There are many ways you can help by donating or fundraising. More information is at CBS8.com. I'm Ariana Cohen for CBS 8.
Ariana, thank you. Well, the search for answers continues in Kearny Mesa. They're trying to figure out why a Cal Coast credit union caught fire last night.
Yeah, this is the credit union near Balboa and Ruffin. The fire was contained to the building's second floor, which was used as a small kitchen area for staff, but because the building did not have sprinklers, heat from the fire caused part of the building to collapse as firefighters rushed to put it out.
There were about 6, 7, 8 trucks here, 4 big water hoses on the fire. I couldn't believe that the fire could make it through all that water.
Firefighters say the collapse made it harder to put out the flames and that doing so was completely a group effort.
Everybody has to be very disciplined and on the same page, which everybody was last night. Granted, there was a lot of damage done, but nobody got hurt, and the whole building didn't burn down because of the efforts that were made. So for that, I'm very proud of everybody that was on that fire.
As for the credit union's vault, that was on the first floor and was left untouched by the fire. And tonight, a Grant Hill family is still looking for your help to find their stolen puppy.
Yeah, we brought you this disturbing video last night. The Morales family's new 8-month-old puppy stolen in broad daylight. Happened Valentine's Day right in their front yard. You can see here a guy just reaches over, picks up the dog and walks away. A police report has been filed. They're hoping someone recognizes the man in the video, calls police. Family members say they are planning to install a taller fence to try and keep something like this from ever happening again. And hopefully somebody recognizes that guy.
Yeah, and brings that puppy home.